Have you ever called your golden retriever with that cheerful, excited voice you always use, only for them to look the other way like you've suddenly turned invisible? Maybe they pause for half a second, glance in your direction, and then continue sniffing the grass or staring at the wall like your existence isn't that big of a deal. It's confusing, right? Especially when you know your golden to be this warm, loving, always ready to please ball of sunshine. So when that shift happens, when they suddenly start ignoring you, it's natural to worry something is wrong. But here's the comforting truth. You're not alone, and your dog isn't doing this to upset you. Golden retrievers don't think like humans. They don't ignore you out of anger or spite. They don't roll their eyes and walk away because they're over you. What they're doing is communicating something, even if it doesn't look like communication to us. And the interesting part? The real reason behind their sudden distance is usually far from what most owners assume. What looks like stubbornness or attitude is often something much deeper, something emotional or instinctive happening beneath the surface. So today, we're going to break down what's really going on inside your dog's mind when they start acting like you're not even in the room. By the end of this part, you'll understand your golden on a whole new level, and the whole situation will feel a lot less personal and a lot more fixable. Reason 1. Your golden isn't ignoring you, they're communicating something. When humans ignore someone, it means something. We might be mad, stressed, annoyed, or simply uninterested. So when your golden acts like they can't hear you, your brain naturally jumps to the same conclusion. They're upset with me, or they don't care, or even, did I do something wrong? Dogs don't think that way. A golden retriever ignoring you is not a cold shoulder. It's not a protest. It's not emotional punishment. What your dog is doing is expressing a need, or reacting to something they feel inside, something they may not know how to respond to any other way. You could almost think of it like a child getting overwhelmed and shutting down. They're not trying to hurt you, they're trying to cope. And the moment you stop seeing it as disobedience and start seeing it as communication, the whole situation becomes so much easier to understand. Reason 2. Your golden is mentally overstimulated. Golden retrievers are incredibly observant. They take in more information from their environment than we ever realize. From tiny noises you don't even hear to smells you never notice, their world is constantly full of stimulation. So imagine their mind having dozens of tabs open all at once, every minute of the day. That level of mental activity gets exhausting, even for a dog that's meant to be smart and sensitive. When a golden's mind becomes overloaded, they start to disconnect. It's their natural coping mechanism. Instead of responding to your voice right away, they drift inward. They tune out certain things because their brain is already juggling too much. And most of the time, this doesn't happen because something is wrong with your dog. It happens because the environment has been too busy for too long. If your home has been noisy or chaotic or full of activity, or even if your golden hasn't had enough structure or quiet time, their brain can feel overwhelmed. And when that happens, ignoring you doesn't mean they don't care. It simply means they're tired in a way that doesn't look like physical exhaustion. It looks like emotional and mental tiredness. And just like you zone out when you're overwhelmed, your golden zones out too. Reason 3. You may have accidentally taught them to ignore you. Now, this one surprises almost everyone because no one thinks they're teaching their dog to ignore them. But goldens learn from patterns, even the ones we don't notice. When you call your dog multiple times before they actually respond, they learn something important from that. They learn that the first call doesn't really matter because you always say it again anyway. Dogs don't understand that your repeated calling means you really want them. They only see the pattern. You say it, nothing happens, and you say it again. That repeated cue becomes part of the routine, and suddenly your golden thinks listening on the first call is optional. This isn't your fault. Almost everyone does this without realizing it. But goldens are way smarter than we give them credit for. Once they learn that a command isn't consistent or important, they treat it like background noise. It isn't rebellion, it's simply habit. A habit they learned because you didn't know you were teaching it.
Reason 4. Something else became more interesting than you. Golden retrievers have the attention span of a toddler who just drank a whole bottle of soda. They are curious about everything, especially scents. Dogs experience the world through smell the way we experience it through sight. So if your dog is sniffing something on the ground and you call their name, your voice might not even register in their mind. It's not that they're choosing the smell over you because it's more important. It's just instinct. Smells tell a dog a whole story. Who walked by, when they were there, where they came from, what they ate, what mood they were in. It's basically dog gossip, and your golden loves gossip. So when they're deeply locked into sniffing something or watching something in the distance, your call becomes one more sound in a very busy world. You're not being replaced. You're just competing with a hardwired instinct that's older than any command you could ever teach them. Reason 5. Something changed in the environment and they felt it. Golden retrievers notice every shift in your routines, your mood, and your home. They're emotional sponges. Even if you think you're hiding stress or frustration, your golden already picked up on it. When something in the household changes, whether it's your work schedule, your energy, someone moving in or moving out, or even a new smell, they feel it deeply. And for a dog that thrives on consistency, those changes can make them act differently, including becoming more distant or unsure. Their way of handling confusion or insecurity is often to withdraw mentally. It's not a rejection of you, it's their way of adjusting to something they don't fully understand. Even small changes can affect them. Maybe you've been giving them less one-on-one time. Maybe you've been distracted. Maybe you've been emotionally drained. Your golden reads all of this like an open book and sometimes responds with quiet distance simply because they're trying to figure out what's going on. Reason 6. They're testing a new phase of independence. Even the most loyal and clingy golden retriever goes through phases where they suddenly feel bold enough to do things their own way. This often happens during adolescence, but it can also occur randomly as they grow more confident. It's very similar to how children or teenagers start pushing boundaries just to see what happens. Your golden might be feeling more curious, more adventurous, or simply more comfortable exploring the world without looking at you for direction every 2 minutes. So when you call them and they don't come right away, it may not be misbehavior at all. It may just be your dog feeling brave and wanting to explore their surroundings with more independence. And honestly, this is normal. It's not a sign they're drifting away, it's a sign they're growing. And sometimes growth comes with a bit of distance. Reason 7. They aren't getting the kind of attention they need. Golden retrievers love attention, but they don't just want affection, they want meaningful interaction. A lot of owners think they're giving plenty of attention because they pet their dog throughout the day or let them follow them around. But attention isn't always created equal. Dogs respond to patterns of attention, not the amount. When your dog mostly gets attention when they're being loud, hyper, or demanding, they learn that those moments are when connection happens. But when they're calm or simply being themselves, they may not get as much acknowledgement. Over time, this creates a subtle disconnect. Your dog doesn't understand that you love them all the time. They only know when the attention actually reaches them. So when you call them during a calm moment and they ignore you, it's possible they don't have a strong reward association connected to responding quietly. They're not avoiding you. They simply haven't been taught that those quieter moments matter just as much as the excited ones. Reason 8. They might be feeling sad, unsure, or anxious. Golden retrievers feel emotions just as deeply as we do, maybe even more in some ways because they experience them so purely. When your golden is feeling sad, unsure, or anxious, they don't curl up with ice cream or talk it out. They withdraw. They become distant. They avoid eye contact. They retreat into themselves. It's their way of coping with emotions they don't fully understand. And there are so many reasons a dog might feel this way. Maybe they got scolded earlier. Maybe someone raised their voice in the house. Maybe something small startled them. Maybe they've been lonely during the day. Maybe their routine feels different and they don't know how to respond to that change. Ignoring you can actually be their silent way of saying, "I'm not feeling okay right now." It's gentle, it's quiet, and it often goes unnoticed because it doesn't look dramatic. Reason 9. They aren't feeling your leadership clearly right now. This one has nothing to do with old-fashioned dominance ideas. It's simply about emotional trust. Dogs listen when they feel calm and confident around their person. If your dog senses hesitation, inconsistency, stress, or confusion in your energy, they may not feel fully guided in that moment. It's not that they don't respect you, it's that they feel unsure about what you want from them. Dogs follow clarity, they follow reassurance, they follow calm confidence. When those elements shift, your golden might start taking their own path because they're trying to fill in the blanks themselves. This doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It only means your dog needs a clearer emotional signal to follow. Now that you understand why your golden retriever might be ignoring you, it's time to shift into the part that really matters: how to bring them back. This is where the real transformation happens. A dog ignoring you can feel frustrating or even a bit heartbreaking, but the beautiful thing about golden retrievers is that they're incredibly forgiving, incredibly eager to connect, and unbelievably quick to respond once things start making sense to them again. Now we will talk about rebuilding communication, reestablishing connection, and helping your golden retriever feel excited about listening to you again. And the best part is that none of this requires harsh training, shouting, or anything forceful. Goldens respond best to calm leadership, emotional clarity, and consistent routines. Once you give them those things, they almost always shift back into that sweet, attentive companion you know and love. Let's get into it. Start with resetting the emotional energy between you and your golden. Before you try teaching anything new, you need to rebuild the feeling of safety and calmness between you and your golden retriever. Dogs pick up on energy more than words, and if your emotional tone has been stressed, frustrated, or scattered, your dog has already felt that long before you realized it. The first thing you need to do is give your golden a sense of calm certainty again. Start by softening the emotional atmosphere around them. Spend quiet time together without asking for anything. Sit with them, pet them gently, or let them rest beside you. Even 5 or 10 minutes of calm presence each day can begin rebuilding the invisible connection that is so important to Goldens. They need to feel you, not just see you. They need to sense that the bond is still there and that you're not approaching them with frustration or pressure. This calm reset is incredibly powerful because it tells your dog, "We're okay. I'm here. You can relax." And once your dog feels reassured, their mind becomes more open to listening and responding. They're no longer guarded or overwhelmed. They're emotionally available again. Think of it like laying the foundation before building a house. Without that foundation, nothing else you do will truly stick.
Reintroduce the sound of their name in a meaningful way. Your dog hears their name all the time, but the problem is that it often becomes background noise. If you call their name when they're sniffing, barking, excited, or distracted, and they don't respond, the name slowly loses its meaning. So you need to teach them that their name is something important again, something worth paying attention to. Begin using their name only in moments when they're already calm and likely to respond. Say it gently, warmly, and wait for even the slightest acknowledgement, maybe a glance, a head tilt, or just a small flick of the ear. The moment they acknowledge you, praise them softly. Your tone matters more than your words. Let your voice feel rewarding, like a little spark of affection they'll want to respond to again and again. As you do this, your dog will relearn that their name isn't just noise floating around. It's a cue that something nice happens, something emotionally satisfying. Over time, they'll begin to tune in more naturally whenever they hear it. This is how attention slowly becomes a habit again. Rebuild your commands one at a time and make them mean something again. Commands only work if they're consistent and emotionally clear. Most people accidentally weaken their cues without realizing it, usually by repeating them too often or saying them in moments when the dog is unlikely to listen. To rebuild your golden's responsiveness, you need to treat each command like a small promise between you and your dog. Pick one simple command to restart with, something like come or sit. Use it in calm, controlled situations where your dog is most likely to succeed. Say the command once and wait. Give them a moment to process. Goldens may be quick learners, but they also have busy minds, and sometimes they need a few extra seconds to shift their focus. When your dog responds, even if it's slower than you'd prefer, reward them warmly. This doesn't have to be food. Praise, affection, or even just a happy tone can be enough. What matters is that your dog feels the emotional difference between responding and not responding. This slow, mindful approach retrains their brain to see your voice as something clear, consistent, and meaningful again, not something that can be tuned out. Bring back the joy in listening to you. One of the biggest reasons dogs stop responding is simply because the experience doesn't feel rewarding anymore. Golden retrievers are emotional creatures. They love positive energy, fun, connection, and warmth. They listen best when responding feels good, not when it feels like pressure or routine. To bring back the joy, you need to turn listening into an enjoyable experience again. You don't need treats every time. Sometimes play, excitement, or affection can be even more powerful. If your dog responds when you call them, celebrate it a little. Smile at them. Talk to them in your happy voice. Goldens thrive on that emotional feedback. They want to make you happy, but they need to feel that happiness coming back to them. Once a golden retriever feels that responding to you fills them with joy and closeness, they naturally give you more attention. Listening becomes something they want to do, not something you're demanding from them. Give your golden structured routines so they don't feel overwhelmed. A large part of getting your golden to listen again is simply helping them feel grounded. Goldens do best when they know what to expect from their day. When things feel predictable, their mind settles. They can be more present, more focused, and more connected to you. Start by adding more structure to their routine. This doesn't mean you need to create a strict timetable, it just means giving them a general rhythm, a consistent morning walk, a predictable feeding time, a set period for quiet time, and predictable play. These small routines create mental security for your dog. They give your Golden something to rely on. When their world feels stable, they feel stable. And when they feel stable, they're far more open to listening, bonding, and responding. Set up moments where your dog can actually succeed. Many dogs ignore their owners simply because the situations they're being called from are too overwhelming or too distracting. If your dog is sniffing intensely, playing with another dog, or exploring outside, calling them back is setting them up for failure. They're not ignoring you, they're caught in something deeper. So give them more opportunities to succeed. Call them when they're already lightly paying attention or when the environment is quieter. As they build the habit of responding in easy situations, you can slowly introduce slightly more distracting settings. This gradual process builds confidence for both of you. Your dog learns they can succeed, and you learn that with the right timing, your dog is far more capable than you thought. Reconnect through play, not just training. Training is important, but play creates emotional magic. Playing with your Golden Retriever is one of the strongest ways to rebuild their attention because play naturally positions you as the source of joy, not just commands. Engage in the types of play your dog loves most. Some Goldens prefer fetch, some like tug, and others love interactive games where you chase them or hide treats. During play, your voice becomes something they associate with excitement and positivity. They start looking at you more. They check in with you more. They become more attuned to your movements and your energy. And once your dog starts looking at you more during play, they naturally start listening to you more outside of play too. It strengthens your relationship in a way training alone never could. Communicate with your dog through your energy, not just your words. Dogs listen to energy long before they listen to commands. If your tone is unsure, tense, or frustrated, your Golden will pick up on that and become confused or uncertain. Every command becomes blurry because your tone and your message don't match. But when you speak calmly, clearly, and confidently, your dog feels safe. They understand the emotional intention behind your words. They can relax into the moment and follow your guidance without hesitation. So pay attention to your state of mind when interacting with your Golden. If you feel rushed or annoyed, pause for a moment before giving a command. Let your voice come from a place of calm leadership. This change alone can dramatically shift the way your dog responds. Give your Golden plenty of mental outlets so they don't shut down. Mental overstimulation and mental understimulation are both problems, and balancing them is key. Goldens need structure, but they also need outlets for their mind. Puzzles, sniffing opportunities, short training sessions, and small challenges throughout the day can help keep their brains satisfied without overwhelming them. When your Golden feels mentally balanced, their attention naturally improves. They listen more, respond more predictably, and feel more connected to you. Their mind isn't cluttered or chaotic. It's clear enough to actually hear you.
Allow quiet, deep connection moments every day. Golden Retrievers thrive on emotional closeness. Beyond obedience, beyond training, beyond routines, what they really crave is connection. The kind of connection where you sit together, breathe together, and simply share space. These quiet moments reinforce the bond that makes your dog want to listen to you in the first place. Just like humans need emotional closeness to feel safe in a relationship, dogs need it too. So make time each day to sit with your Golden without asking for anything. Just enjoy each other. Let them put their head on your lap. Let them rest beside you. These small moments rebuild trust, deepen the bond, and remind your Golden that you're their safe place. When a dog feels deeply bonded to you, listening becomes effortless. It stops feeling like work. It becomes part of the relationship. By the time you reach this final part, you already understand why your Golden Retriever might suddenly ignore you, and you already know how to rebuild that connection so they respond to you again with eagerness and joy. But the goal isn't just to fix the problem temporarily. The real goal is to create a bond that lasts forever, a connection so strong that ignoring you becomes the rare exception, not the rule. Golden Retrievers are emotional creatures. They are loyal, loving, and deeply attached to their families. But like any relationship, the bond between you and your dog needs consistent care. When you nurture it the right way, your golden will naturally gravitate towards you. They'll listen because they feel connected. They'll respond because they trust you. They'll stay close because you've become not just their owner, but their safe place, their guide, and their source of joy. Now, we will talk about creating a long-term bond that grows stronger with time. It's about understanding your golden so deeply that their needs feel intuitive. And once you start living in that rhythm with them, you'll notice the ignoring fades away completely. Not because you forced obedience, but because you built a relationship so solid that listening becomes effortless. Make communication between you and your golden feel natural, not forced. The best relationships, whether human or animal, are built on easy, comfortable communication. When you talk to your golden in a calm, warm, consistent tone, they learn to trust your voice instinctively. But when your communication becomes confusing, rushed, or emotional, your dog doesn't know how to make sense of it. Their attention wanders. They disconnect without meaning to. The long-term solution is simple. Keep communication natural. Talk to your golden as if they're your partner in daily life. Let your tone stay steady and soft. If you need their attention, call their name once and pause. Give them a second to tune in. When they do, even if the response is small, acknowledge it. Over time, this builds a rhythm where your dog responds almost automatically because your voice feels familiar and encouraging. Listening becomes part of the bond, not a task. Give your golden retriever a life full of meaning. Dogs don't just need walks and meals, they need purpose. And golden retrievers especially crave roles. They want to feel involved in your life. They want to feel useful. They want to feel like they matter beyond just being pets. You can give your golden purpose in simple ways. Let them carry something for you on the walk. Let them bring you their toy when you come home. Let them sit beside you while you fold laundry and reward their presence. Let them watch you cook and feel included in the moment. These tiny acts give your dog a job, a place in the home, a sense of belonging. When a golden feels they have a meaningful role, their focus on you becomes stronger. They feel important, connected, and secure. And dogs who feel secure rarely ignore the people who provide that feeling. Create daily check-in moments with your dog. You may not realize it, but dogs notice every emotional shift in their owners. They read your face, your breathing, your tension, your posture. And because golden retrievers are especially sensitive, they notice these things even more deeply. That's why daily emotional check-ins are so important. These are small moments where you stop whatever you're doing and simply connect with your dog. It could be sitting with them while you sip your morning coffee, or pausing for a minute before bed to pet them gently and let them know you're present. Even short check-ins create emotional glue between you and your golden. These moments teach your dog that no matter how busy life gets, there's always space for the two of you. When your golden feels that consistency, they stay connected to you without needing to be asked. Their mind naturally stays tuned to your presence. Keep building their confidence so they don't retreat or withdraw. A lot of ignoring behavior comes from insecurity. When a golden feels unsure of themselves or unsure of you, they pull back. This isn't stubbornness, it's emotional self-protection. To prevent that from happening long-term, you need to keep boosting your dog's confidence in gentle, everyday ways. Praise them for small victories. Celebrate even tiny moments of good behavior. Let your voice be a source of reassurance. Some goldens are naturally sensitive, and they need more verbal encouragement than you might expect. The more confident your dog feels, the more brave and responsive they become. A confident golden doesn't hide, disconnect, or tune you out. They step forward with curiosity and openness. And dogs who feel emotionally lifted by their owners rarely develop long-term ignoring habits. If you found this video helpful and you want to keep building the best possible life with your golden retriever, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're new here, subscribe so you never miss another video that helps you understand your dog on a deeper level. Got a question about your golden's behavior? Or maybe you've noticed something different about your dog lately? Drop it in the comments. I love reading your stories. And you never know, your question might inspire the next video. Thanks for spending this time with me today. Go give your golden a big hug, and I'll see you in the next one.